There's a little waterfall in the stream making the noise in the background. I'm just going to have a little stroll around, see what I can see. It's pretty with this stream coming down here. Oh, bluebells. That little splash of colour we need to make the picture. And I like, can you see the sun glinting? Because we're going into the sun here. There's the sun up there. And we've got this sort of green foliage here that's going to help. I'm just thinking if I can get a camera down here in these bluebells with that stream meandering off in the background, that's going to be a nice picture. So I'm going to pop this just down here while we give it a go. Let's have a look. Right the way in there. The sun's in and out, look. Yeah, that's nice. I've got this tree over here, can you see? That's nice, and that foliage. The sun's in and out, so we've got to make sure we get the picture when the sun's out on this shot. But what I'm going to do is put my hand, get the camera close into these bluebells, put my hand there, create a little box, ask the camera to focus on that point. I can take the exposure up and down then as well. So here's the picture that we had from the bluebells, and you can see we've got a nice angle here of the stream meandering away off into the background, and we've got the sunlight glinting off it here. Here's that nice lush green foliage we talked about, and the tree you want to keep in. And I kind of like that because it balances the picture with this large bluebell structure about to burst into bloom on this side, so it's nice and balanced. And of course we've also got the blue of the sky over here reflecting the blue in the bluebells. We've got the green this side reflected on the green that side, so it's all really nicely balanced. And you can see, we shot this with the iPhone, but we got it in so close, and we asked it to focus by putting our finger on the subject and waiting till we got that larger square. That meant that we've got some differential focusing. We're dropping this background out of focus, and who knew that you could do that with your iPhone without an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 12 in portrait mode. Even with an older iPhone, if you can get in close enough to the subject, you can still get that differential focusing. So let's start with the edit. So let's have a quick look at the levels and just take those midtones down a little bit. So we're just making that background that little bit richer. Now we start the real work, get the lasso. I'm going to definitely work in this area here. Just cut all these out together, so they're all the same tone, so I'll work on them all at the same time. And then feather them, of course, feather the selection so it's not a hard line, and then go to levels. I'm just going to raise them up and we can start to see the colour equalising with the flowers. Because I've raised the lightness there, I've washed the colour out a little bit, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that blue back in, maybe a bit of saturation too, just to help it ping, just to help it balance with the rest of the picture. And now with those still highlighted, with the selection still highlighted, I'm going to get the dodge tool and just work over them and just get the highlights on the end of those buds. There you go, get the blue back again, that's nice. Now I'm going to make a new selection around these green areas, these bright green areas here and on the other side of the stream too, because the light hitting them is just making them a little bit vivid there. So I'm going to feather that selection, and then we're going to just tone them down a little bit with some levels. Now I'm going to use the magic wand tool to catch the blue in the sky and then grow that selection and ask it to find the similar colours in the picture, grow it, and as you can see we've asked it to find similar colours, and that's found the bluebells as well. So I'm just going to get the minus selection tool and go around the bluebells and say take those out of the selection. There you go. So now we've just got the sky, and we can modify and feather so we can't see any hard lines. And we'll just take the levels down slightly. We don't want to make the trees too dark, so what I'm inclined to do here is perhaps
look at the colour, get a little bit of blue filtered in and maybe a bit of saturation too, just to get it to the same level as the bluebell flowers, so that it's nice and balanced. So a little tiny bit more saturation there, that's just about right. So now we've just got to do a little bit of dodging and burning in the stream. So I'm dodging just around those areas that the light was hitting, just so that we can really see the light bouncing off the top there. And I'm going to go to the burn tool now and put a little bit more shadow detail, particularly in the background, because I think if I leave that too light, you don't get the feeling, the three-dimensional feeling of being able to walk into the picture. So I'm darkening that in back there, and that will give us the feeling of being able to walk into the picture. And just down in the shadow detail, which is again going to highlight and send the eye in towards the flowers, in towards the stream as it makes its way off into the background. There, I'm happy with that. And that's the finished result. No DSLR, no macro lenses, just the iPhone.
Sometimes with photography, it's not just a case of seeing the huge picture that's in front of you, the massive sunset or the stormy skies like we had yesterday. Sometimes it's a case of walking around and just spotting a picture within a picture. Sometimes, like those bluebells, they're just hiding down there, and they're there. You've just got to be able to spot them. It's as simple as keeping your eyes open, really.